We're tracking new details about the man found dead on UK's campus yesterday, what we've learned about who he was and what he was doing at the building where he died.
Very strong thunderstorms showing up on live First Alert Defender. We're tracking the heavy boomers and the potential for severe weather in the days ahead.
A fugitive from Arizona on the run for nearly 35 years is caught living in central Kentucky. How he was finally arrested.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4.
Good afternoon. I'm Jennifer Palumbo. Storms are firing up across Kentucky. Some of them are bringing heavy rain and lightning. You're looking live at downtown Lexington, which has seen some rain today. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking the storms on First Alert Defender. Chris?
Yeah, storms packing quite the punch out there right now, Jennifer. We're getting these clusters of strong thunderstorms across parts of the region now. Very heavy rain and an absolute ton of lightning coming from the skies. Take a look at live First Alert Defender. Notice the coverage now across much of central and eastern Kentucky. Let's get you caught up and show you exactly who's getting what now. Look at the thunderstorms just beginning to crank across parts of central Kentucky. Thunder and lightning now with that cell north of Georgetown. Look at the storms from Mount Sterling back to the west into parts of Clark County now. Lexington, not a whole lot into downtown, though some boomers trying to crank to our west from Versailles, Lawrenceburg, and down the Bluegrass Parkway. Just south of the Bluegrass Parkway, this is a very strong thunderstorm on top of Harrodsburg, and that extends a little farther to the south into the western parts of Boyle County, northern sections of Casey County. Tremendous amount of thunder and lightning and very heavy rains that could cause some localized stream flooding as those storms make their way across the area. We go into Pulaski County, over into London. Thunder, lightning, heavy rains across sections of the Hal Rogers Parkway. That's part of a line that extends farther to the northeast, where you see the tremendous amount of lightning putting on a heck of a light show, I should say, north of Hazard toward Hindman, Knott County, into parts of Breathitt County. Watch out for some quick rises in creeks and streams as that round makes its way through the area. Watch how quickly these showers and storms begin to blossom, especially now across parts of central Kentucky. Got to keep an eye on those creeks and streams. You get under a couple of thunderstorms in a short amount of time, you can have some localized high water issues. We're keeping an eye on that. It's part of a tropical flow that we've been in for a little while. And by the way, that's coming ashore into parts of the Lone Star State of Texas. That is Tropical Storm Bill. Believe it or not, the leftovers from Bill will head our way later this week. Jennifer, by Friday and Saturday, we could be talking about some heavy rains from the tropics. That's in addition to the severe weather threat I'm tracking over the next few days. It's busy, as you can tell, and we'll break it all down for you coming up in 15 minutes.
Thanks, Chris. Investigators have just released the name of the man found dead on the roof of a building on the University of Kentucky campus yesterday. He's 51-year-old Kurt Boren from Richmond, and we've learned he shouldn't have been staying in the residence hall where he was found. WKYT's Sean Moody has new details in our top story at 4.
A UK spokesperson told me these dorms are used by grad students and their families. He said the person who was found dead on the roof shouldn't have been staying here. Around 3:30 Monday afternoon, UK police said someone walking near the old Lexington Theological Seminary noticed a man's body on the roof of the building that houses grad students and families.
The resident who was there apparently had been away from the apartment. I don't know if authorities have had the chance to talk to him yet. Obviously, it's still early in the investigation. This all just happened late yesterday afternoon.
UK spokesperson Jay Blanton said the student who lives there had either been subletting the unit to the man or had been letting him stay there. Either way, he said it wasn't allowed.
You're not allowed to sublease or stay in residence halls or apartments that are owned by the campus without permission. And that there was no permission to do that. There aren't any regulations or policies that would allow that. So that would not have been allowed under our regulations.
A Fayette County coroner said he does not suspect foul play. In Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
A fugitive who's been on the run for nearly 35 years is behind bars this afternoon. The Lincoln County Sheriff says Daryl Bullock had been wanted since 1983 for stealing cars in Arizona. He was arrested overnight in Lincoln County. Investigators say he's lived in Lincoln County for the past 25 years, working at an auto repair shop.
Yeah, he was a little surprised because, I mean, we were pretty much on top of him before he knew or had an opportunity to make any type of movement whatsoever.
Bullock tells authorities he has been arrested since he took off from Arizona. He told the sheriff he served 6 months on a federal DUI charge after being arrested in the Cumberland Gap Tunnel. But he was never returned to Arizona to face charges there. We now know more details about what led to a deadly accident at the Boone National Guard Center in Frankfort yesterday. Officials tell us 23-year-old Brandon Cloud of Harlan County was killed and Wade Massengale was badly injured when a snorkel boom overturned yesterday morning. Massengale was airlifted to the University of Kentucky Hospital where he is in serious but stable condition. Cloud and Massengale are employees of David Brothers Roofing, which was subcontracted by the Kentucky Department of Military Affairs to install siding on an aircraft hangar. Our reporters are working on a number of other stories for WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick is in the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon, Jennifer. Police in Nelson County looking for the hit-and-run driver who crashed into a 2-year-old who was riding a scooter. The Nelson County Gazette says the child has head injuries and was taken to Cosair Hospital in Louisville. Police have surveillance video, but they have not yet been able to find the driver of the dark-colored vehicle that hit the child. We'll have an update on the investigation coming up on WKYT News at 5 o'clock. We're asking more questions this afternoon after a Lexington police officer's cruiser crashed into a handcuffed suspect. This afternoon, Lexington police told us that David Schlechte was arrested last night for disorderly conduct on Southland Drive. While sitting outside the Family Dollar store, police say Officer Justin Burnett's car lunged forward, hitting the suspect and the store. Officer Burnett was not hurt. Schlechte was taken to UK hospital with minor injuries. We'll have more on this investigation on WKYT News at 5 o'clock. That's a quick look at some of the news in progress. Jennifer, back to you.
Thanks, Sam. Now the story is making headlines across the nation at 4. A 6th person has died from the collapse of a 4th-floor apartment balcony in Berkeley, California. 7 other people were seriously hurt. At least 5 of the dead were Irish students who were in the U.S. on temporary work visas. The balcony broke loose from the side of a building overnight and landed on the railing of the 3rd-floor balcony below, dumping the people who'd been standing on the upper balcony. Less than a month after Texas received a severe and deadly drenching, the state is again in the path of a big storm. This time, Tropical Storm Bill is expected to bring up to 12 inches of rain as it makes its way through the state. Mary Maloney has details.
Tropical Storm Bill made landfall around noon today, bringing with it 60-mile-an-hour winds and heavy rain. The downpours began long before the storm came ashore, battering the Texas Gulf Coast. This comes just weeks after severe storms drenched the state, making flooding the primary concern this time as well.
The models say that the ground is already saturated and that any rainfall that comes down is going to run off, and that's what we're going to see with this.
Parts of Galveston have already seen flooded streets, and schools across the area are closed. Forecasters expect the storm to move north, drenching Texas and Oklahoma with 4 to 8 inches of rain. Officials are warning anyone in the storm's path to stay home.
The main message is just be careful. This is a rain event. There's no storm surge with it. It's not a hurricane. We don't have those kind of winds. But people need to be aware that places that have flooded before are very likely to flood again. So stay away from high water. If you don't have to go out today, don't.
I'm Mary Maloney reporting.
Many schools and businesses in the Houston area closed before noon for the day, and officials there say flooding could cause them to shut down some roads until the weather clears. A North Carolina beach town is advising people to stay out of the ocean after 2 young people were attacked by a shark over the weekend. A 12-year-old girl was bitten so badly near Oak Island that she lost part of her left arm. Then, about an hour later and 2 miles away, a shark bit off the left arm of a 16-year-old boy from Colorado Springs. Both are reportedly in good condition. A shark researcher in Florida says he's aware of only 2 other multiple shark attacks on the same beach in one day. The Fed meeting starts and stocks surge on Wall Street today. The Dow jumped 113 points to close at 17,904. The Nasdaq added 26 and the S&P 12. Clothing retailer Gap plans to close 175 stores in North America this year. The company says it will also lay off 250 employees at its San Francisco headquarters. They say the closures will not affect Old Navy or Banana Republic. The news follows a dismal first quarter sales report for Gap. It's down 10% from last year. Gap has stores in Lexington, at Hamburg, and Fayette Mall. We contacted Gap to see if any stores in Kentucky would be closing. Officials told us they expect to have more details soon about specific store closures. It's good news for working moms. A new study finds leaving your children to go to work is actually doing them a favor. A Harvard Business School study found daughters of moms who work grow up to be more successful than their peers, and sons of working mothers are more likely to be better fathers. According to the research, children under the age of 14 exposed to mothers who worked grow up to hold more equal views as adults. The Wall Street Journal reports UPS is telling dozens of retailers it plans to end big discounts on oversized packages this holiday season. In some cases, United Parcel Service will do away with those discounts year-round. The move could hit consumers hard by forcing them to get their items at a store or absorb some of the shipping charges for oversized packages exceeding $57. Parents who put their teenagers on their car insurance policies pay a lot more. A new study from InsuranceQuotes.com finds parents pay about 80% more on their yearly premiums. The data also shows teenage boys are the most costly for parents, with average increases at around 92%. Thank you, Don. Lexington's 4th of July concert celebration has been moved up to June 26th and 27th. Country music fans are counting down to Red, White, and Boom, hosted by 98.1 The Bull. Deanne Stevens is out and about today with more. Hi, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys, from Whitaker Bank Ballpark, where the countdown is now on for the 2015 Red, White, and Boom. A few more artists just added to the lineup. We're all super excited about this upcoming weekend. Actually, weekend after next, but it's upcoming for us. We've been talking about it long enough. Michael Jordan is with us from iHeartMedia. Michael, this is always a fabulous event, but when you talk about this lineup and you've continued to add more now, who'd we add to the list just recently?
Eric Pasley, the Low Cash Cowboys, also Michael Ray, which was one of the iHeartMedia or iHeartRadio On the Verge acts. So we're really excited about those three that we just added. But in all, we have 13 acts, one DJ, Officer Don and Deanne, a fireworks show. It's going to be a lot of fun, and tickets are almost sold out. We've got like less than 1,000 tickets.
Okay, let me tell folks too, just so that more than 20 #1 songs out of all these folks, over 41 CMA, ACM, and CMT nominations. This is not only do you have an incredible talent on the lineup, but this is a big old party for folks out here at Whitaker Bank Ballpark.
Absolutely, and you know, the other thing about Red, White, and Boom is if you think about some of the acts that have played Red, White, and Boom in the past, Miranda Lambert, Eric Church, those acts didn't play where they are now. They played as baby acts, so this is kind of like your glimpse of the future of country music, too, when you come out to Red, White, and Boom.
And it's also a great opportunity for folks to celebrate the 4th of July. We're doing it just a few days early this year. Andy Shea with us now. This is a big old party, but it's a great celebration of our freedom and a lot of fun for folks.
Absolutely. I mean, this kicks it off. This is, you know, the weekend before 4th of July. Awesome kickoff to just a great celebration, and man, it's so fun out here.
It is. How do folks get tickets? Because Michael said less than 1,000 now.
LexingtonLegends.com, or just call the Legends box office, at the Legends box office, whatever's easiest. But yeah, get them before they're gone.
All right, a whole list of all of the artists playing too. Check that out at redwhiteandboom.com. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about at Whitaker Bank Ballpark. Back to you guys.
It's time for Better Living, health education and consumer news that impacts your life. Food companies will have to phase out the use of unhealthy trans fats over the next 3 years. Artificial trans fats will disappear from the food supply almost entirely, but you aren't likely to notice much of a difference in your favorite foods. The Obama administration says this change will prevent thousands of fatal heart attacks every year. A new study finds distinct injury patterns in the brains of people with concussion-related depression and anxiety. Using MRI, scientists from the University of Pittsburgh were able to find changes to the area of the brain associated with the brain's reward center. Researchers say the findings may help improve treatment for the common disorders. Indiana is the latest state to begin penalizing drivers for holding up traffic in the left lane. Dozens of states now have laws that could fine people for driving too slow in the left lane. Adriana Diaz takes a look.
You know why I stopped you at all? Not a clue.
Clueless drivers across the country are getting pulled over, not for speeding.
You're familiar with the new slowpoke law that's out, right? No.
But for going too slow in the passing lane. Lieutenant Colonel Patrick Callahan is with the New Jersey State Police.
I would agree going 90 is more dangerous than going 50, but doing 50 does come with some concern and some consequences.
At least 38 states have laws in place to fine for lingering in the left lane. In 5 states, fines could be up to $1,000.
I think it's about time. People need to move over.
In New Jersey, the fine for the offense went up to a maximum of $300 2 years ago. State Assemblyman Declan O'Scanlan pushed for New Jersey's law in order to reduce accidents and anger on the road.
What is so bad about driving in the left lane? It's the fast lane. That's what it's for, isn't it?
Well, you should be passing, using the left lanes. This is not a minor offense. You cause people to change lanes more frequently or to pass people on the right. That is when you get the most severe accidents.
Enforcing the law in New Jersey is largely up to state troopers. Callahan says not all left-leaning drivers are targeted.
It's those cars that are really obstructing the flow of traffic out there.
Adriana Diaz, CBS News, Trenton, New Jersey.